I'm Caroline.
I'm Phil.
And welcome to our Mudlarking Happy Hour. It's lovely to see so many of you in the chat. It's very busy in there. And we even have some crafty caravanners who are watching us off-grid. No electricity involved. It's pretty impressive.
There's got to be power somewhere. You can't get us without power.
I think it's in their phone battery.
Yes, could be. Or maybe they got a little bit of the old sunshine.
Yes.
Solar.
Oh, yes, very technical.
Yes, it's all happening now.
It's lovely to see so many in here, but let's have a look at who were the first three in tonight. Now, I know who's first in. As I click to go live, up comes somebody's name who you may guess. Oh, what a lot of chat tonight. Wow, I've got to the top of my list.
Oh, gosh, look who's first.
Oh, it's Adam's Advanced Adventures. What a surprise. Well done, Adam.
In fact, to give him his full title, Mudlarking with an Anchor.
Yes.
There we go.
And followed very closely by Lexi B, Lexi's Larks and Crafts. And third place, West Country Mudlark. So well done for being the first three in. It's lovely to have you all here though. Hope you have a lovely time. If this is your first time here or you've never joined in the chat before, don't be scared at all. Join in because everybody is so... I'm pointing there because that's where I see the chat. Everybody is so lovely, so make yourself at home. Make yourself part of our Mudlarking family and just jump on in there and comment.
There may be an incident before the show is over because Ribble Finds and Treasures, that's Steve and Mary, of course, they're part of the show tonight because they've sent us something that's coming up in our mail time. But just put up a notice saying, may not last till the end of the show as Mary's trying to kill a fly and all I can taste and smell is fly spray.
Oh dear.
She may do better lobbing the tin at it. So
right.
There we go. So there's they're thinning the ozone in their house with their own sprays. And the fly is the only one surviving.
Yes, that's the problem.
It's looking like Steve may bite the dust before the fly.
I remember my mum doing that when I was little, chasing a fly around the house, and then I read the tin. Oh, I was probably in my 40s when I read the tin, and it says, spray in the room, shut the door, and the fly will die. And oh. So I was using half a can of fly spray, and it really does work. The only thing is then, like, we've got a conservatory on the back of our house, and if I use that because there's just big blue bottles and things I can't get rid of, next thing you know, they're all wood lice dead on the floor. We seem to have a lot of wood lice.
They do. The wood lice, they like.
You don't know they're there until I put fly killer in there.
No, they like our house. They do indeed. They do like our house.
Oh, Fiora, I'm never quite sure how to pronounce your name, sorry. We've had giant moths coming in, much to the delight of our cat. Our dog used to like spiders. She used to suck them and then spit them back out. She never ate them. Right then, what shall we start with tonight?
I don't know. Well, Sarah's already started because she started with a mint chocolate ice cream.
Sarah, you've got ice cream. Oh, that's it. I'm jealous now.
There we go. That's it. They all told me off for eating all my chocolate fingers and not sharing them.
I hope you got a snack or a cup of tea or a coffee or whatever it is your chosen beverage.
I can assure Sarah that a mint chocolate ice cream is safe from you and me, because I have net mint since I met Caroline, because Caroline can't stand mint, so I had to give up mint or stop kissing the wife before she was even my wife. So I've net mint for 40 years.
We're a rarity. There aren't many people who don't like mint. But before we go down the rabbit hole of food, which we always end up doing, should we do something more Mudlarking related?
Somebody had a vegan Magnum. The world has moved on. I remember the only way our Joe could have anything vegan was if you made it.
Yes, now there's lots of vegan things. I saw a vegan birthday cake today in Asda's. That was quite impressive. Probably not as nice as my vegan chocolate. I'm not sure what to call it. It's a chocolate cake and it's like it's very sticky. It's chocolate sticky cake.
Shall I start with a brick?
Why not? That would suit the theme of the night.
I think I should start with a brick because there are several bricks. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, Tom! Thank you, Tom. I'm going to interrupt you already. Thank you so much, Tom.
See, they waited till I'm talking.
Yeah, they did. Well done, Tom. £10 super chat. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that.
You are a gentleman. And for that, I will tell everybody, no, the guy with the long hair and a beard wasn't Tom.
Didn't he look as if he was? I was like, oh, I forgot.
The number of people who thought that Caroline forgotten to put the big red man to cover Tom when he stuck
wasn't Tom.
No, that was just a stranger I'd never met before.
Mind you, if anybody who isn't watching this live show is walking down the street, see that man, they'll be going on to him and say, Tom!
I know, you were Tom early.
I'm not Tom! Yes, you are. We know your secret.
Yeah. I work on the premise that strangers are just friends I haven't met. He was just some guy that was wandering along the beach and I ended up in
always
conversation.
find somebody to talk to.
Yeah, but
Right.
there were a lot of bricks.
There were
And I
a
did
lot
just
of
do a count. 9 bricks. I managed to carry 9 back. It took 2 trips. And I carried 3 back on the first trip and 6 on the second. I had 4 in my backpack. And in the end, I had 1 in each hand to balance me out.
Oh, Jill!
Oh,
Jill Tabor, £10 super chat. Thank you, Jill.
As
is tradition, time to interrupt Phil.
Thank you, Jill. Interrupt me, go on, I don't mind.
Oh, thank you so much, Jill. We really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Now then, Jill and Tom, do you want to see my brick or not? Alright, so Jeff don't want to see my brick.
So now Jeff's giving us a £10 super chat. Thank you so much, Jeff. Fun for the brick collection. You could make a brick extension for the shed. Now that would be something, wouldn't it?
I am tempted because, now see,
but thank you so much, Jeff. It's really kind of you. Thank
those
you.
who watch the video know that I did get a thumbs up off Tom.
Susan Henderson
$1
interrupted
for
Phil
each
again.
brick.
$1 for each brick. Good on you, Phil. Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank
That's
you,
really
Susan.
kind of you.
Thank
you.
I tell you what, we won't have a show, right? I'll just keep trying to talk and you keep interrupting me
Let's
with
see if
super
Phil can
chat.
get through the next sentence.
Now, as you'll know, on the show, in the movie, it was an hour and so many seconds long. Tom did give me a thumbs up when I asked him if he'd help me carry my step back from my shed.
He never did, though.
No, it turns out he wasn't serious. And I understand why, because it must have weighed about 3 tons.
He did rescue a piece of wood from... I couldn't get it up.
Yes, he did.
Got that
He
for me.
did. And I am now of a mind to think, I said to Caroline, sometimes you look at the film when we are watching it with you all, and you recognise things much more easily than on the day. And I think that piece of timber that Caroline's talking about with the 3 slots in it and the mortise and tenon joint on the end, I think that would have come out and been in the wall of a house. You know, when they used to do the wattle and daub or the Tudor house buildings, because that was oak. That was heavy. That length of wood, it felt more like concrete. It was so heavy. And I think that's what it was a timber infill. And there would have been pieces coming down and then they would have plastered it in between. That's what I'm thinking on that.
Genius.
But,
just a second.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Brian, for your coffee donation. Thank you so much, Brian.
There we are.
That's
That's
really
lovely.
kind of you. Thank you. I can't see that on my screen, but thank you very much. Just give me a little... You can see the little thing coming up on the screen, I suppose, as well.
So the reason I mention that is because I may use some of my bricks from Blitz Beach to build a step into my shed. I may. I don't know whether to go with the timber or whether to go with bricks. I haven't decided yet.
It's been major engineering if you go with bricks.
But I will show you first 2 of my bricks from Blitz Beach. And of course these 2 were... This one is in pretty good nick. And this one is a bit more sea-worn. But they both show the design with the holes. Now, what I didn't notice on the day is although they each have 10 holes, they are arranged differently. Because this one has got them in a straight row, and this one has got 2 sets of 5. So there we go. But the other interesting thing is I hadn't seen yellow bricks with holes in, and I hadn't seen bricks with holes in where the holes didn't go all the way through.
Jill says, yay, the domino.
Yes, it is. It's a domino brick. Correct.
Did you manage to turn it around?
I
You've got 2.
There we go.
Look at that. It's
Double
like
5.
a domino, isn't it?
Yeah, whereas this one's not.
No, that's a boring... How many?
It's not.
10 hole.
Yeah, it's not boring.
It doesn't look like a domino, though.
No, correct. And this one would make a good candle holder because you could put 2 candles, one in each of the centre of the 5s.
A few people are saying domino game. Oh, now that would be good, wouldn't it? Instead of getting the Manky Panda playing our pattern game, people could order the brick domino game.
Yeah.
How many dominoes
Can you
are in
imagine
the
the
game?
postage?
You'd have a pallet delivered.
Yeah. Here we go. This one is... And I'll put it up for you to have a look.
You can't read it.
M.R. Bowers. And that's
Riabon.
Riabon, which we see a lot of Riabon. As I said on the day, I think they used to have a brickworks that would make bricks for different companies, perhaps. So you have massive brickworks, but somebody would say, right, I want, 400,000 bricks with my name on it. So they'd stamp them out. And a bit like we get in products today, the same product coming out from the same factory. And this one, when I was researching the location, when I was looking online at pictures, videos and archive stuff, that name was on a brick similar to this on the pictures that I saw. There we go, Mr. Cliff Richards. There we are, a cliff brick.
Hence the joke, what do you call a man with a seagull on his head?
Cliff.
Cliff.
There we go.
I know.
There we go. First 2 out of the 9 bricks that I brought back with me. I'm going to put those down in a minute because they're rather heavy.
Phyllis said, is this where the yellow brick road went to? Wouldn't surprise me, there were so many yellow bricks as well as other bricks.
And of course, I'll show this at the same time.
Why not?
Because this,
it's a brick fest.
as you can see, and then boink. So that's less than half. That's a third of a domino brick, which has been washed within an inch of its life. Come out at this lovely shape, almost a teardrop or a comma, you know, or a speech mark. Yeah, could be. Could be. A duck.
Monster. Yeah, that's better. That's right.
Anyway, I thought that would have gone brilliantly with a candle in it like that. So I brought that home, as that is just a piece of one of those bricks. But because...
Is it too short to put... I think yes. I don't know, I could get away with putting brushes in, but it's a bit short, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I haven't got a candle with me at the moment to try in there. But I think that would go nice as a candle holder. Leaving this side forward with the 3 holes there, the partial holes, I think that would look good. And it's been made for me. The amount of work I have to put into that is virtually nil because the sea has done its work. Probably over the last 60 years. But I haven't got 60 years, see, to be working on it. I've already been here 60 years and I haven't got much done. And I'm not going to be here another 60. But I think that was nice. So I brought it home.
Oh, West Country Mudlark said, Domino's is making me hungry now. I quite fancy a pizza now as well. Right, Mary Beth said she quite likes the candle idea.
There we go. And I found a few of these. They're the legends that you saw up the paths in the Victorian and Georgian houses.
They look like little caterpillars. You could put those in the ground, couldn't you? With just the top bit showing in the middle of the lawn. It would look like you had giant caterpillars walking along your lawn.
I could glue a ping pong ball on there and give it eyes and,
you could do, yeah.
and a nose and a mouth. Yeah. There we are. So got a couple of those little bits. They came back. The finds tonight, I said to Carly, it's funny because I didn't have a single bottle to wash because we didn't find a bottle. We found 2 tiny bits of pipe stem. We didn't find any of the regular stuff. But we did find stuff. We have brought quite a bit back to show you. But of course, as everyone knows who's watched the video, the real finds, the mega finds, are not here with us. They're there on the beach. And a lot of people are saying, what a shame you couldn't take them with you. What a shame you couldn't take them with you. I agree. I would have loved to have brought all that stuff back and used it in the garden. But also, as I often say when we go down to Lyme Regis, the fact there are things there that we could never move means they're there for you to see. So if ever, you know, sometimes there's beaches up in Yorkshire that we used to visit in the early days that would always yield so much stuff. But they've been visited by so many people now, they're virtually bare. That's never going to be true of Blitz Beach.
No.
You will never go there and not be glad that you did, because you will be able to find those wonderful pieces we found.
You possibly won't be able to find the gargoyle though. Now, somebody, I think it was Orlick said to me, it's not a gargoyle, it's a grotesque. The gargoyle actually stick out. The grotesques were carved into a pediment or something. But there is a race on now. People are talking about hiring cranes and vans and lorries. People are coming over from Denmark all after the gargoyle. So that may be gone.
Yes. Who knows? There's been people battling for it, but yeah, they got to dig it out and then carry it a mile back to the car.
Now sometimes you can just shake something. There was no movement.
But the intriguing thing is as well, you could go to Blitz Beach and spend 4 hours there like we did and never see that grotesque. On the other hand, you could go there and find 1,000 things that we didn't see, because there are 2 miles of that stuff.
It's amazing.
And there's
you look and you spot something, but there's no way I was spotting everything.
And as we showed when we showed the piece with the mason's mark on it and that gorgeous carving, that had just come out in the last 12 months. It was washed down. So over the years, new things are going to be revealed. So there will always be things to see. And I appreciate from the comments we've said, I agree with everyone. They're part of our history. There's a story to them. there is a sad side to that story, but there's also that sense of seeing history and touching things with your own hands. And to touch something like that grotesque, like those beautiful carvings, to touch something that was never meant to be seen again. It was buried. They stuck a golf course on it.
What do you think? Some of those things we could never have touched now, even if they hadn't been demolished.
No.
Because they've been right high up
That's
in a
right.
posh building, so it was well out of my reach. But now it's lying on the floor, and I can actually say, "Whoa! Look at the size," and just feel the texture. It's just amazing.
Probably get arrested if you try touching them on a building that's already standing, dear.
I'd have to do one of those be one of those. What do they call them? Free runners or something. But I'm not going to do that.
I do a Spider-Man.
Well, Ellen said, no, days are not like that. No, I know, Ellen.
Anyway, do you want a question?
Just a
Anybody want a
second.
question? No? All right.
Lexi said, I saw people on the Sea Glass groups on Facebook saying pickings aren't as great at Seaham now because of how many people collect it. That's always a problem. Soon as somebody lets out any news of where there is something, phew, it's cleared.
And that's why if someone takes us somewhere, we try never to reveal where they've taken us, and if somebody gives us the information somewhere, because for one person to tell one person, but if we put that out on air, then by the time they go back, a friend, a follower of ours has sent us a location in the UK where they haven't even got to themselves yet. They discovered it using the usual things, looking on Google Earth, spotting the diggers' holes from the Google Earth map, gave us that information. We hope to go there at some point. They gave it to 2 people. The other people have already been and made a movie. But if either of us was to just share it, by the time the person who discovered it was able to get to themselves, they could all be gone. So it's one of those things, we try to share what we can, but I can quite believe that the pickings get rare. And of course, it's so fashionable now, and it's an industry, because when you put in sea glass and a location, it's amazing how many businesses come up. How many people are selling sea glass jewellery. They're going down the beach, they live nearby, they go down the beach every day, they pick the best of the glass, they're making jewellery, it's their living. It's the way that they make their living, and good on them. Anyway, what are we going to do next?
Right, next thing I'm going to do is say, Pamela Duggan says, I have something for the crew, but not sure where to send it to from Australia. If you go on to mudlarking@aol.com, it's quite simple to remember, probably worth writing it down though, mudlarking@aol.com. You can get straight through to us, and then we can send you our address and get that sorted. But thank you ever so much.
There we go.
It's really kind of you.
Well, it's 20 past. We've got a third of the way through and we haven't had a question.
That was not a question.
Where have we been?
We've been over to mail time, now we're back to questions.
Oh, there we are.
We've been everywhere.
We've had it all now. It's a question.
It's one of those days.
I said it last week about Manchester, and I will say it this week about Liverpool, and I must say it about Liverpool, otherwise I'll be in trouble because I used to live there. Liverpool is an amazing city, and it has an incredible history, and it has phenomenal architecture, and the docks area, we used to love going down there with the kids when we lived there, didn't we? Fantastic. And you could see the map floating in the water where they used to jump around doing the weather forecast on the morning show. But it also has a great link to the musical heritage of our country, particularly modern musical heritage, when you think of people like the Beatles and Cilla Black. You know Cilla Black.
Yeah, who's the other ones?
Or they're just 4 lads that did quite well at one time. But the question I have is linked to that musical heritage, because one of the anthems of the city...
Rufus, be good.
One of the anthems of the city is that 1964 hit, Ferry Across the Mersey. Who wrote it? Was it A, Richard Rodgers, B, Jerry Marsden, or C, Pete Best? Who do you think it was that wrote... We've been on the ferry across the Mersey, and they play it over the system, over the loudspeaker system, as you cross. That's the truth. We've been there and seen it. So do you think that the 1964 hit, Ferry Across the Mersey, was written by A, Richard Rodgers, B, Jerry Marsden, or C, Pete Best?
And there's our number one. That one there, Rufus was in well before you asked the question. So Rufus, be a good boy. He's Abercombe boy, see, I think he's psychic, and he knew what question it was going to be. So you got that one?
Hang on.
Just make sure I don't want to go down to the bottom
Yeah.
of the chat yet. Right, okay, down we go. Rufus said, oh, come on, I'm first. Well, you're sort of first. We don't even know if you got the right answer yet. Right, we got a couple of... Somebody coming in as well with the name, but probably couldn't remember if it was A, B or C. I'm like that. Which one was it? Right, so there we go. We got some winners in. And are you going to tell us what they are? Because
we have.
we've got to try and fit such a lot in the show tonight.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The first 9 answers were correct.
Well done, everyone. That's
The
impressive.
first 9
I had
answers
no
were correct.
idea.
A lot more correct answers, but the first 9 were correct. But due to the fact that our line judge has called out on Rufus, because it seems although he had the correct answer, he had it 10 seconds before I actually gave the question out. Then we are going to give Rufus a mention in dispatches for being first but being naughty, and award number 1 place to Jill Tabor with B, because it was Jerry Marsden.
Well done, Jill.
Then we have Lexi B.
Well done, Lexi.
There we go. And Fee in the Shed B.
Well done, Fee.
Followed by All It Glitters, Richard Serrage, Ed Creative, Linda Peterson, Adam's Advanced Adventures, all with B. Now, if you thought that it was A, Richard Rogers, no, he wrote the other anthem. He was the author of You'll Never Walk Alone. And if anybody thought it was C, Pete Best, the reason Pete is associated with Liverpool is because he's the drummer that was with the Beatles and got sacked just before they became famous. So there we are.
There we go. Right then, I'm going to do some finds now.
Are you? Go on then.
Yes,
Go
and
on
this,
then.
this little section's
I
all
won't stop
based
you.
on glass.
Yes.
And this, I would really love to know what this is off. You can clearly see
Chunk, innit? Fair play.
the ridges on
There's
that.
chunks
Look at
goes,
the
that's a chunk.
What's that? About 3/4 of an inch wide. And that's the back. So you can see it is completely, well, opaque's the word, isn't it? It does feel like glass. It might not be glass, but I'm pretty convinced that's glass, and some edges are sharp. Does anybody know what that is? I would really love to know. I don't have a clue. And I got this, which it looks bigger now than it did look on the video. It's just half a glass base of a bottle, but because it's so well worn, it looks really pretty.
Yeah, All It Glitters reckons that's a dragon's tooth.
Or could be. Yes, could be. Yep, and those lines are there, so when he's chewing, yes, you could be onto something there. If it was Wales, I'd say you were definitely right, but I'm not sure about up in...
Glass
Let's
floor
be-
tile? Jill was thinking, possibly.
Yeah, it's thick enough and solid enough, isn't it?
And somebody else mentioned the idea of it being a tile. Glass
Is it?
step.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people
Right.
thinking it could have been on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, 'cause of the grips.
And that's why it's gripped and that's why it's so thick.
I think you could be right. You're onto something there, I think. Well done.
Yeah.
Black one is a glass tile.
Yeah.
Mudlarking Magpie. Yep, looks like it's coming in. Tile. This I got a little bit of slag glass here. I just thought I'd show you because it's pretty. Got all. It almost looks like he's got pie right there, which is fool's gold. I don't know if it is. There. That's pretty. And I also have this green glass with stripes on.
Yeah, we got quite a bit of ridged glass this time.
Yes. Which, what is a mudlark without ridged glass? It doesn't have
Not
the
quite
same
the
ring,
same,
does
no.
it? And then I've got some other little bits and pieces. There's more of that green. There's a lot of that about. So I wonder if maybe, if it was a floor, maybe there was a floor in a big building that got shipped there or something. I don't know. And then there's just a couple of other little bits. You can see all the different colours of glass in there. And then we got this little bottom of a... Can't really see it, can you? It's the bottom of a boat.
Yeah.
So I wonder who played with that. Interesting. I wonder what their story is. It could be it could just be something that got lost there as a child who was on holidays. Could be a really sad story from the Blitz. But it is interesting, isn't it? If only we could find out the history of that little plastic boat, it would be absolutely amazing. But we'll never know. That story is lost.
You did say that you were going to put it in the bin, right? I rescued it because I thought I might be able to make use of that for something. And I did tonight. Look, I made use of it.
Oh, yes, it's a little glass
There we are.
container.
You're showing you pretty things. Somebody said the thick glass could be from commercial boiler furnace door. There we go.
Right.
And according to Magpie Sarah, it's a green glass tile is a tile too.
All right. right. Thank you,
While we're
that.
on pretty things, this is one that we showed on there as well. And hopefully here you can see the sparkle in that even better than you could, because it was a brilliant hot day, but sometimes the sunlight whites everything out. But I picked that up because look at the shiny on it. Isn't that pretty? I liked that. Well, I must have liked it. I carried it back with the 6 bricks. So you got to like things when they go in your bag along with 6 bricks, don't you?
Right, so Sarah said the flat side is the side you see. All right, you think it would be the... On the other hand, if they're on the wall, I suppose that may give you something to stick it on with.
The thing is the grip is to give you the grippiness. Yeah, good point. We're learning all the time.
We are. Now then. You've got nothing. Now I'm going to do... I want to do some mail time.
Go on then.
So we'll have this mail time one again. Which I still haven't fixed.
Who's doing the mail time? You do mail time?
I'll do a mail time with this big black parcel.
I've got a mail time as well.
So I'm going to undo this. And this is from Ribble Finds and Treasures, Steve and Mary.
Yes. That, for those who don't realise, Steve's the one who at the moment is trying to get oxygen supply because Mary's just gasping with fly killer. Alright, just keep you up to date with what's happening in the chat there. You know, if you're still alive, let us know, Steve.
Could you get the Stanley knife? I think this
Stanley!
It's either that or I'm going to have to chew it. Ow.
Stanley!
Very well packaged. I am impressed.
There we go. Careful as you go. Don't want to slice anything, especially any arteries or anything. That would ruin the show.
I'll do my best. Oh, hello, Derek.
Can you imagine turning up a casualty and they say, your wife has lost so much blood? I say, yes, I know, but I had to wait half hour till the show ended before I could bring her in.
That's right.
You know.
Priorities.
They would probably tell me off. Now, we had an interesting message concerning this because Steve wrote to us and said, everything's in there, but I forgot to pack the kitchen table. If I had packed the kitchen table, you would have had the letter that was meant to accompany it because the letter is still on the kitchen table. So he sent us a list of what's in the mystery boxes.
Right, then, so box.
Something for
Manky.
Shall I open Manky? So you can open Manky? Go on, I'll hold the box. I'll hold the box.
Right, Manky, come on then. Oh, look, Manky's really excited now. Can't keep still. This is for you, Manky. Oops, no, it's no good. I need my Stanley knife again. You can always tell if I'm the last one to use the Stanley knife, the blade's in. If Phil's the last one to use the Stanley knife, the blade's out.
I just put the blade out to give it to you. Save you the effort. I wanted to save you the hard work of getting the blade out.
Thank you.
I've been kind and caring and compassionate and helpful and making excuses for myself again, didn't I?
Ooh, what's this, Manky? Oh, it's a bubble. Now, don't get excited. It's not. I don't think it's just bubble wrap. Oh, it's Manky's on telly. Stop singing theme tunes.
That wasn't.
Oh, look at this.
Oh. No, there's some information there because I think
I'm trying to find
there's an M in there which came off a marmalade jar. I know that. These are pins to go on Manky's coat when he's out.
Right. Can I take
There we are. If you open it up, look, you can see the back.
There we go.
You can see the back of the pins.
So there we go. There's all the backs of the pins, and look at this.
Look,
there's an M for
little
Manky.
Badges, an M for Manky, which came off a marmalade jar, and then little china finds that have been. And I did read that Steve said they couldn't find a bamboo shoot for him.
No.
So they got that little green leaf instead.
So look at that. Oh yes, Manky is very pleased. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to open another one and I'll see if I can put one of these on for Manky?
Okay, it's got to be the M for Manky to start with, isn't it?
I think so.
Right then, what's hell? Oh, these are just bubble wrap. So this we go for this box here.
Yeah,
and this is box A. Ooh, right. So let's have a look what's in box A.
Well, I can see what it's got in box A.
Right.
Yeah, I can see the I can see pipe stems. I can see there's pipe stems.
Ooh.
And something else, something that's been made again.
Oh, look! It's a lino. I love lino. I don't know why I'm weird, I know, but I love lino. Thank you. That's great. And there's more. There's more. It's more. That's exactly the same as the rocks looked like on the beach when we were in Blitz Beach. there were some rocks looked just like that, and we thought they were lino, and they were actually rocks. That's actually rock shapers too, isn't it? Oh, thank you so much. They'll go in my lino collection. And finally, as they say on the news, I think, or is there something else? No, that's right. Where's my blade again? Oh, it's like Christmas, isn't it? Let's have a look.
Right then, while you're opening that, I'm going to show Manky looking a cool dude, because he's got on
look
his pipe stem choker that he was given just a couple of weeks ago, and there he is with M for Manky, his marmalade jar pin.
Oh, doesn't he look smart? There we go, we got one happy Manky. Right, in this, if I can get in, this was box A, has a pendant made from a bit of pipe stem, as I know you like your pipe stems. Oh, look at that one. Whoa. Can you see that? That's lovely, isn't it? The detail on there with the, it's got a top and bottom end in it. It's got a bead and a, I'm not sure what they call those. I call them dangly bits. I don't think that's a technical term. No, it's not a droplet. Droplet, something like that.
Dropper, is it?
Dropper. Oh, isn't that very nice? Oh, thank you. And the blue, that bit there, the lace goes with the blue little jewel in there. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. And box B has.
Rufus wants to know where's the gold bar.
I haven't found it yet. I think Phil's got the gold bar. Disguised as a brick. Right, here we go. Done a marvellous job of wrapping these. Box B and C have pendants made with some of the pottery bits I have found, both with flowers on them, as I know you also like flowers and gardening. Box B is just a largest flower shard on a pendant, and box C is a shard mounted on a pendant back infilled with resin. Ooh. Oh, that's lovely. And it's got the red ribbon, like a lacy ribbon, with the red shard on with... Oh, that's really pretty. They almost look like pearls in the middle of that flower. That's really pretty. That's lovely. Thank you. And there's another one to come. Oh, I get the pile of bubble wrap here. Last one. Are you ready for this? So we know now this one's in resin, which is sounds a bit technical to me. I don't know anything
All of these
technical.
treasures and surprises are all coming out the same parcel, and the parcel came from Steve and Mary, who are Ribble Finds and Treasures. They're in the chat there, folks. If you want to know more about the things they make, then give them a shout on there.
Look at that. That's got green lace and green ribbon with green resin in. That's how close I can get to see if I can get it to focus for you. No, he just wants to show Phil. That way. No. There you go. That's really nice. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I'm always impressed when anybody does anything with resin. I'm too scared to try it. I will one day. But it looks really good. Thank you so much.
I remember when we were kids, what was that stuff? Used to...
Oh, plastic craft.
Plastic craft. Go.
I never had that.
I was a kite playing with that.
Oh, the advert really made me want that.
Had it. We had it. We had it, and they used to have like little seahorses and things and shells, and you put them into things and then tip it everywhere and make a mess.
So thank you so much, Steve and Mary. They are really lovely. Thank you. I love them.
That's brilliant.
But
and
also, while I remember, Rachel last week had sent us some jewellery, and some of you said, where can we buy it? Now, she's got problems with her hands, so her mobility isn't brilliant for making things, but she's happy to do it as long as you're happy to wait. If you want to contact her, her email is in the description of this video. I think it's right down the bottom. So, but your name is in there.
This video?
Yes, on this
live video. Is
on the bottom of the live show. When this is over on Ko-fi, I'll try to remember to put it in the Ko-fi description for you as well. So it's on the bottom of the email if you want to contact her email address is if you want to contact her and come up with something.
And of course,
an arrangement.
Because the letter is still on the kitchen table over with Steve and Mary. If they have contact details for the items they make, we don't have them at the moment, I don't believe, do we? So just give us a shout out there for Ribble Finds and Treasures. As I say, they're in the chat, and if you have got a link, then feel free to put it up in the chat for people to be able to see the things you're making. Okie doke. Shall I do my mail time now as well?
Go on, then you do your mail time.
Shall I do my mail time?
Let's get another mail time. Oh, it's gone 10:30. We've got such a lot to do tonight.
Oh, I got heavier mail time. So
yes.
one thing in this box,
yes,
but it's a lot heavier, and David McEwen said you should have seen the look on the postmaster's face when I passed it to him. Because this is my first ever brick through the post. So it's B15 Dove. That's what he's known as on here. That's how it'll come up. But it's David McEwen, who has a channel and goes out and takes his grandchildren along as well as they go larking and looking. And there's a letter in here. And it says, "Hi Phil, please find enclosed a brick that I said I would post to you. My dad worked here as a young man for the brick company. You can Google the name and find out its history. Hope this finds you both well. Best wishes, David and Barbara. YouTube channel B15DOV." Okay, folks, you got that, B15DOV. Have a check out of the channel. And here's the brick.
Ooh.
And this is actually a brick from the company where David's dad worked as a young man.
Hello, Beata.
Oh, there we go.
Sheraton. Look at that, it's really unusual. See all the big black blobs in it? I don't know, it looks like that sort of residue on it, but it seems to be built in the brick, doesn't it? So,
and on that side, see? And on that side as well. It's got burny bits on it. But a beautiful brick, a nice clear name, and that's going to take pride of place in one of my garden brick features, I am sure. So a big thank you to David.
Yes, thank you.
Big thank you to his postmaster. Big thank you to my postman, who had a strange look on his face as he brought it down the drive.
I think he despairs now when we get parcels. Like, what's in it this time?
I've never thought the day would come when I'd open a parcel and find a brick. But I have to say it, I did. I found a brick. And a big thank you as well to David's granddaughter, who went with him and was there on hand to rescue Grandad when he got stung by the nettles and fell on his rear end trying to retrieve this, because when he first spotted this brick, it was a cold and frosty morning. When he went back, it was a summer's day with 6-foot nettles, and he struggled. But thank you so much. Appreciate your efforts. Thank you to your granddaughter as well. If I knew her name, I'd give her a shout out, but you tell her from me, I am really grateful. Fantastic. Thank you so much, David.
Right, we need another question quick.
Right then. We had a look at the metal people. Remember the metal people? 100 metal
Sounds
people
like a popper,
standing.
doesn't it? The metal people.
100 metal people standing on the beach. Put there, well, not put there by Sir Anthony Gormley. I'm sure he didn't go over there and sink them in the ground. But he did create that installation. For those who are not familiar with his work, you may be familiar and don't realise it, because he also created the Angel of the North, so which is huge and quite famous.
Rufus.
Okay, so my question is about Sir Anthony Gormley, who I have discovered since the visit modelled each of those naked people on himself.
Right.
Yes, just for people to know. There we are. I'm not saying he's got a bit of an ego thing, but he decided to have 100 models of himself in cast iron, in a nude, standing on a beach, getting drowned every day.
But you
twice
didn't
a day.
see that on our channel.
No, because I had that. Okay, so Sir Anthony Gormley has the Sir because he was knighted in 2014.
I can see you, Jeff.
But that wasn't the first time that he received an honour from the Queen. In what year did he receive his OBE? A. 1988, B. 1998, or C. 2008? 2014 he was knighted and made a Sir, but when did he get his OBE? Was it A. 1988, B. 1998, or C. 2008?
Right, our winner is... Oh, it's all jumping now. So many right answers coming in as well. That's
what I got. That's what I got. That's what I think. Yeah.
Just to let you know, there's a message on here that some people might find distressing. Lexi B said Tilly had a wee at the bottom of the Angel of the North. Now, I should let you know that Tilly is her dog. Okay, I'll say no more.
Yeah, best to mention that. Because if it was a niece or something, then, you know, people could start to worry.
Pleasant Valley Picker said, naked people, check out the video that we put out yesterday, and there's a naked metal man, and there are 100 of them on the beach.
Yes, but we took our modesty hat with us.
Yes.
You know, I carry a hippo bag everywhere I go, a plank, and a modesty hat. Just in case we come across a 6'6" naked cast iron man. You never know, so you never know what you're going to find when you're mudlarking, I can tell you. But no, it is an incredible installation.
It is. It's really worth going to see, especially watching the tide coming in and seeing the people disappear under the waves.
If you've got the time to go there and sit, and if you could time it, the tide's coming in the day, and you can just watch them all vanish as the water comes up over the top.
I'm not sure if they all vanish or whether...
I think some of them go up to their waist, don't they? But some of them go right under the water. Because and they're rusting, but that's the whole point of it.
I tell you what, if you go on eBay, on
YouTube.
Yeah, somebody sorted it off. I think if you go on YouTube, I wouldn't mind betting somebody's got the Gormley statues on a time lapse of the tide going in and out. Somebody will have done it. I'll have a look later.
If we'd had the time, we'd have done it, but we didn't.
Right then.
And by the way, for those inquiring, yes, Tom is now so successful as a mudlarker. He did come in by helicopter when he heard we were there.
Oh yes, you were very impressive when you landed.
Yes,
I thought you were James Bond, Tom.
Yes, for those, because some people weren't sure if that was Tom's helicopter. It wasn't. He chartered it when he heard we were over. He needed to get there quick, so he chartered it. But see, that's just what happens when you become a mega star on YouTube.
I do think the tuxedo and the dicky bow was a bit much, but still.
Well, it was his 4 minders I was impressed with.
Oh, yeah, they were big and mean.
They were. Okay, so we've got our correct answers because actually he was given an OBE in 1998, which is B, and Lexi B has moved up to top position.
Well done, Lexi.
Quickly followed by Richard Serrage.
Well done, Richard.
And Ellen. Ellen K.
Well done, Ellen.
There we are. It's Lexi, Richard and Ellen got the first, second and third on that one. He was knighted in 2014. He was given his OBE, which is the order of something that doesn't exist anymore, Order of the British Empire. And he was given that in 1998 for services to the world of art. And I've got to be honest, I'm not impressed always with all modern and clever art installations, but he's made some interesting things.
I could try that, couldn't I? Now I'm getting into my art. I could try making a huge art
and get an OBE. Or become Lady Caroline.
Oh, that'd be alright, wouldn't it? Just for, I don't know, throwing mud at a wall.
Right then. So, shall I show this? Yes, I'll show this.
Show that.
Now, some of you may have seen on the film, well, if you've seen it, I'm sure you'll have seen it. There we have the coin. Now, partly cleaned up, but not yet fully done. I've got to do some more work because this is proving to be interesting.
Bye, Bill.
Bye, Bill. We have figured out that there's definitely a Latin motto on it. We know the motto is the motto of the royal household of the United Kingdom, but that doesn't show up on most of the pennies that we have checked. So we're trying to identify the coin. It is a coin of the realm with the royal motto on, and hopefully by the next time we're here, I'll be able to share with you a bit more information on that. But at the moment, that's the stage we're at. It's gone from black. We can see it is a bronzed coin, and it's the size of a penny. And you can see ET at the bottom there, which my Latin-speaking wife was able to tell me was at the middle of... Is it Latin or French?
French, I thought it was
French.
Mondouat, I think.
There we are, French. There we are, not Latin at all. It's all German or Irish to me. I haven't got a clue. I don't speak any other language, and I don't speak English very well. So if it's a different language, it's just a different language. But there we go. There it is, folks. For you to see, we have started work.
The interesting thing I noticed on it, let's see if I can do this right. This side here, have you noticed it's like it's been clipped? Now, I don't think it's gold, because gold will look like gold when it comes out to the ground, but it looks like the coin clippers have been at it, doesn't it?
That has been flattened.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfectly round anymore.
No,
so
it's been flattened on one end.
It's a hard time.
But we will find out more, and hopefully I'll be able to clean that up.
Hopefully we'll find out more.
Because my intention is to clean that up so that it's visible, then to drill it and put it onto a piece of dowel, set it into a piece of wood so that it'll stand like that, and it'll be
Phil will be known as a plinth man. Everything he finds out, ooh, this will look good on a plinth.
Yeah.
So you can be the plinth man.
Why not?
So
there
if
we
you
are,
heard about
folks.
him, you saw him here first.
We will continue to keep you updated on that. But as you know, when Caroline found it, it was a piece of concrete about this big.
It was huge.
It's now smaller because I broke it on purpose because I couldn't fit it in my bag. And I decided that particular piece was coming home with us. There we go.
Beata says that will be nice, so there you are.
Do you want to do question number 3?
Question.
We've only got 13 minutes left.
Quick.
I'll give you a concrete question.
A concrete question.
Concrete has been around a lot longer than many people realise. In fact, scientists have discovered that ancient concrete of a certain mix is stronger than our modern version when it comes to resisting the sea. Because modern concretes, many of them, 50 years is their lifespan when they're faced with the sea, with the salt water and the waves and the power of the tide. And they found ancient concrete that did better than that. Who made the ancient concrete which the scientists have tested? Was it A, the Romans, B, the Egyptians, or C, the Chinese?
Right, we've got a few answers coming in, and then that's the first one that's come in after you asked the question. You see it? Well done, you're a very clever bunch. I am impressed. I got this one wrong.
So where were we by?
Oh, right up the top again. Excuse me a minute. No, I've lost it. There's just too many people coming in.
I'll just go with the first right one.
Okay then. It's got very confusing now because my computer screen has jumped and I've lost, because there were some right answers before we'd asked the question, but we go for... Yes.
I think what people did, though, they
Guessed
knew the
who it
answers,
was, yeah.
so they went with it without the letters.
Ed Creative said gargoyle on a plinth. That would be some big plinth. We could use one of the big stones off the beach to be the plinth. Right, so then I can go down then. Whoa. Rufus said, yes, I'm top. Right, so we got some great guesses coming in and a lot of right guesses as well. As I said, I didn't get it right, so don't feel bad if you didn't. Right, so are you going to
Right
got
then.
a winner?
The correct answer is
Ta-da.
A, the Romans. Now, some people got in first, but in fairness, they didn't put A, B, C and randomly guess. They put in the answer because they knew the answer from the question. So I'm going to give you the correct answers as they appear here, and the first person to put the word Roman down, Ian Upfold, immediately followed by Tom Burley, who was immediately followed by Pleasant Valley Picker, CA, because he said, and actually typed, the Romans had concrete, and they did. And quite a lot of people came in straight after that because we had loads and loads of Romans. Loads of Romans. In fact, I think virtually everybody went with the Romans. I did think I'd catch a few people out. I did catch out Lexi. Mind you, I think Lexi's working on a theory. She's sticking with B all the way through.
Yeah.
But because I thought by throwing in the Egyptians and people thinking of the pyramids might go with the Egyptians. But it was the Romans, and because they used a particular source of volcanic ash to make it, rather than Portland cement, which is what we've used for the last 200 years, it actually was a better concrete mix than we made 2,000 years later. Isn't that amazing?
It is. Well, Big Dev's in now. Or Big Dev, Big Dog, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. We've already opened the brick, so you have to go back and have a look.
Yes.
You can see the
There
grand
we are.
unveiling.
There we are. And if you weren't in earlier, which I assume you weren't, you're saying hi, then we did ask on the show that you said big thank you to your granddaughter for being there with Grandad to rescue you from the nettles and everything else.
Right, some household. I knew I'd find bricks. And I knew I'd find sea glass, so I set myself a challenge to find some household objects. And I found this child's toy spatula. I'm not sure how old that is. It could be sort of 60s, I think. I don't think it's any earlier than that. And, of course, Phil found a scissors, which I don't think is ever going to cut anything ever again. Good for knocking nails in. And his tin opener, which we now know will open a bottle of Beck's Blue, because Phil opened a bottle of Beck's Blue at the end of the show. So
Indeed.
there we go. We have a very old Bliss Beach tin opener.
And seeing as Caroline is showing you rusty things, I will show you a very smooth, very smooth piece of cast iron downpipe. Beautiful patina on that. Look at that. There we go. And another big chunk of sewer pipe made out of cast. It's very nice. Just put that there like that. And then we had this, which I believe is the filler cap off the top, either the cap off the top of a radiator or a fuel tank for a tractor or some kind of heavy machinery. So may well have been lost off a piece of machinery while they were bulldozing and clearing the streets after the trouble, and it may have just got picked up with the rest of the rubble and thrown away, and now it's in our house.
Yeah.
Because I'm weird and I like scrap. My beautiful piece of artwork, which Caroline laughed at, because that's what she tends to do when I find beautiful artwork. So there we go, bit of a fire grate.
You could stick that on a plinth.
Well, I could, couldn't I? I could put it on my shed. I could put that
You
on
could
my shed.
make yourself a Roman centurion's helmet, and that could be like turn sideways. There, look, you know those big things they have? I think they're feathers actually, but still, it looks a bit like one, doesn't it?
Be a bit heavy.
Oh, so do some exercise, you won't even notice the weight then.
And call me weird, by all means. But I like this. And I know James and others have said about there's a sort of emotional bond with some of these things when you think of the ownership. And for me, nothing represents what that place was all about quite as much as that.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Which is simply...
The historical angle of that one.
It is. It's just that simple image of a rusted bit of metal with the keyhole in, which I would have assumed was the back door to a house. And that, to me, that's history in your hand. That's what I love about what we do. And I like it. And yes, it is. It's got meaning. It's got a sense of time and place.
And it would look lovely on a plinth.
It would. It would. No, that would look lovely in one of these frames that they do like a decoupage frame. That would look lovely, just set in a deep frame, just standing on its own. And
Sure, you couldn't find an old door key. You wouldn't get the exact one, obviously, but you know the big back door keys they had. Yeah. One of those would look good by it, wouldn't it? We'd keep an eye out for one of those.
Yeah, and just with a couple of meaningful words written underneath, because that for me tells the story. That says it all.
Now, Ed's sister Catherine suggested Phil could make a garden ornament out of all that rusty metal. If he could weld, you could make something really fabulous with it, couldn't you? But he can't weld. I don't think glue's going to cut it, is it?
I get me Gorilla Glue.
I think you need more than Gorilla Glue. The weight on those. Right then, should we have another question? Because time is moving on.
Go on then.
It's only been a long day.
I looked over and I thought that's S. That's S on a fingerprint or whatever they call it.
Thumbnail.
A thumbnail. There we go. They thought thinking they're gone. Right. Although we saw some incredible architectural pieces at the beach, I can assure you there are still a lot more incredible architectural buildings in Liverpool.
Yep.
In fact, up until last week, it had World Heritage status. But now they've put them on warning that they're taking it off them because they're building too many modern buildings. Everybody's got their feelings on that. As Liverpool Town Council said, City Council said, we can't stay in the past. But they have got beautiful buildings, and their waterfront buildings are quite phenomenal. We've been there, as I say, we've sailed on the Mersey, it was great. Among those buildings, there on the waterfront, included are the Liverpool Port Authority building, the Cunard building, we've all heard of them, the cruise line, and the Liver building, which is probably the most famous of the three, because on the top there are the two liver birds, one looking out to sea and one looking in towards the city. And it is said if the birds ever fly away, the city will no longer exist. So I think they're safe because they're not real. Okay.
There is real Santa.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No.
Well, we all know Santa's
He's
real.
real.
Yeah, we all know Santa's real.
The question is, those 3 buildings I've mentioned, what are they known as collectively? A, the 3 giants, B, the 3 graces, or C, the 3 grandees. There's a name that is given to the 3 buildings collectively. That's the Cunard headquarters, the Liverpool, the Liver Insurance building, and the Liverpool Port Authority building. The 3 of them collectively are known as, is it A, the 3 giants, B, the 3 graces, or C, the 3 grandees?
There we go. There's a winner for tonight. Or winner for this question.
Right, yeah.
There we go. It's good. Ooh, what a lot of guesses. Rufus, they weren't called the 3 amigos. I suppose they could have been, if there were 3 of them. Do I remember rightly when we were there, we could see they tied them down? Allegedly, so they couldn't fly away. Or was that a rumour, an urban legend, and it was just to stop them falling off?
I think what they've had to do over the years is they've had to put stays on them because they're like 100-year-old. Well, they're over 100 years old now, so obviously there's fatigue. So they've strengthened them with stays. So they have put out the message that they have secured them in order that they do not fly away and the city is safe.
Right, I knew this. I remember looking up and seeing it.
Yeah, if you look at them, you can see the stays that now support the birds on the roof.
Oh, Mo said if you can't find the quote under your find, could be if you can't find the key to success, pick the lock. I like that one.
I like the one where it said, if your boat doesn't come in, swim out to it.
Yes.
I thought that was a good one. I heard that some years ago. Right then, here we go. Now, I don't know if Lexi took a hint from my last remark and she's just going with B every time. But B has worked for her this time.
Done, Lexi.
You've got the top slot again, Lexi. You are going great guns, because I think you've been in on every question bar one and you've had 2 top slots. It is B. They are known as the 3 graces. That's what they're called. And directly behind Lexi B was Linda Peterson, and directly after Linda Peterson with the correct answer was Richard Serridge. And West Country Mudlarks, you were close. You got the 4th slot. There's not a podium, but well done. We had 4 correct answers in a row. There we go.
Well done, everyone.
Right. Should I show a few bricks?
Go on then.
Because I've only shown 2 out of my 9.
And you know how much I love bricks. Like, I've been waiting for this.
Right, here we go. 1 brick. Ta-da! But that one hasn't got holes in the back. Right, oh, here we go. First brick we picked up on the beach that day. No, it wasn't. This was later. The first one was from that place, I think. But this one showed that not all of the rubble there is from the wartime, because this is dated 1954. And we all know the war was over in 1945. And here we go. Oh.
Oh, Phyllis said 54. What a good year.
Another brick. Here we go.
He's going to do himself a mischief picking those up.
Another brick. That's one of the ones with terracotta written on it.
Charlotte said, oh, I put succulents in that first brick. It would make a good little... You could put a couple of them and have a whole bed of succulents, couldn't you?
Remember this one? Lots of words. Monk and Newell. Again, though. What's that place? Rehabon, is it?
Rehabon.
Rehabon. Same place.
I think.
Totally different name. But very clearly printed there, isn't it? Monk and Newell. And one more.
One more, and then we have our last question. We're running late today.
This was the first brick we found, sorry. And that was from the same place. Is it?
Latham, is it?
Latham, I think, yeah. But that one's RPB, and I haven't had time to look that up yet. So there we are. That's my brick collection from Blitz Beach. Right. Have you got anything? Right. Have you got anything to show? What have you got to show? You got anything to show?
No, we go for a question.
Now, we did find some lino. Caroline has some bits of lino over that side. But this was a gift from Tom. He found this. Probably The largest bit of lino that we have found so far.
You could actually put that in your porch, couldn't you? There's plenty there.
That was a gift off Tom. Thank you, Tom. He didn't think I had enough to carry already, but in fairness, it was a lot lighter than a brick. But there we go. Isn't that pretty? And Caroline has several other pieces over there that she might have a chance to show you before we finish, because my question is linked to lino.
Go on, you do the question, then I'll show my lino while we're waiting for the answers.
It is said that Frederick Walton invented linoleum in 1861.
Ooh.
After he stumbled on the idea when he left the lid off a pot of paint. When he came back to the pot of paint, a chemical reaction had taken place. The linseed oil had oxidized and left a solid plasticky surface on the paint. Now, I'm sure he's not the only person to have done that. I have had several pots of paint over the years that when I've gone back to them, I haven't sealed the lid and they've got that solid surface. But he's the man who looked at that and thought, ooh, I wonder if I could make a floor covering using the chemical process that has happened in that paint. And he took two things, put them together, and he created lino.
Very clever.
Isn't he a clever man?
He is. Top to the top of the class.
And the question I wish to ask you is, was Frederick Walton the man who left the lid off the paint and thereby invented lino? Was he an Australian, an American, or was he an Englishman? What was his nationality? Australian, American, or English? Where do you think he was? When he went out the shed and realised he hadn't put the lid on the paint, was he in Australia, America, or England at the time? What do you think, folks?
Right, we've got... Oh, the answers are coming in thick and fast. If I find the right answer... So it's there. You see that one?
There you have a look. Yes.
Yes, right, there we go. So now I can show you my bits of lino. So I've got this one. You probably saw these on the show. That's almost like an animal print, isn't it? I like that. Looks... If you look... No, it's probably just my eyes. But it looks like there's the ewe, and there's the ewe, and there's the other ewe, and it's a tiger cub. So crouched down like that, without a face. If you've got weird imagination like mine. And we got this one, which is typical. It's like lots of chips of marble all set into a floor.
Is it that one? Black and red.
This is lovely.
Yeah, I was washing that and I thought that's a nice effect.
It's really pretty, isn't it?
It looks like as if you're looking into the embers of a fire, doesn't it?
I'm not quite sure what it would have looked like when it was new, but...
Probably a lot more vibrant.
I would have thought so. It's very dark. I think all the red has come off and you're just left with the black. And then there were amazingly large pieces of lino there. I usually find little tiny bits. So, oh, there you go. I'll do our whole house out in patchwork lino. That would be different, wouldn't it? Right then, so have we got some answers?
We have.
Right, who's first?
And I would like to say that Lexi has gone with B again. And while it served her well on 3 occasions tonight, it's let her down now. Because the correct answer is he was English. An English bookmaker, actually. There we are. Now you know. An English bookmaker left the lid off his paint. Like I said, something that millions of us have done, but he was the man who decided he'd invent lino because of it. It's amazing, isn't it? Just got to have that idea. So the correct answer goes to West Country Mudlarks, who said English. They were the first ones in with a C. Followed by Ed Creative, who had C. Followed by Richard Serridge, who's back on the podium tonight with a C. And Alison Cutler, Adam's Advanced Adventures, and Jeff all came in with C directly after that. And Ferrag Forsyth as well. So we had 5 in a row there.
Well done.
But
impressive.
The third place went to Richard. He was top of those 5. So there we have it. They are the 3 correct answers, or top 3, I should say, who got it right tonight.
She said, I couldn't disappoint you by picking a different letter.
There's West Country Mudlarks, followed by Ed Creative, and...
Ooh, Ed Creative said,
Richard.
if Phil washes all the fines, does Caroline do the dishes? No, while Phil's washing the fines, I'm usually running around trying to sort out the electronics and the computer gadgets and the gizmos and things and sort out intros. So, no, that's my job. Phil just gets water everywhere and I'm in the office going, I can't get this to work.
We got a dishwasher to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not called me.
No, we got a dishwasher and that does that. And they just stack them all up and then let it go while we get on with something else.
Yes.
To be honest, if we didn't have gizmos to help us, I don't think we get everything done.
No, we always rush. We always have so many things to do.
No matter when we do the video, the fines get washed 40 minutes before we go on air for the live show that they've been shown in.
It's the sort of thing we can put off because other things need
because
doing.
we need to do other things. So they stay in their bag, I bag them up, I put them there, then I open the bag and I clean them up. Because people keep saying to us, why don't you do a roundup at the end of the show and show all your fines? Folks, you would not believe just how crazy our life is. And getting the video edited is as much as we can do some weeks in time. So the fines just get cleaned up and then we show them on the live show. And I enjoy this anyway. I love the roundups. I've seen how people do them and they're brilliant. And I know Tom does a brilliant job and so do so many others. But for us,
we're not that organised.
We're just not that organised. We're not. And we've got, with our jobs and everything and our family and everything else, we just don't have the time to do it. But we make the time for this. We enjoy doing this.
Yes, it's
and
great.
obviously 133 people
you
enjoy
all.
it. 58 of those 133 people have given us the thumbs up.
Can you give us a thumbs up
So
before you go,
if a few
please?
others would like to do the same, that
I
would
wonder
be
if we
brilliant.
could get to 100. Do you reckon we could get to 100 before we go? What if we say
Well.
we're not going until we get to 100?
Well, we could be here a long while. There's only
could be.
131 people in, but
Right.
we do appreciate you being here. It wouldn't be the same without you. In fact, if you didn't turn up, we wouldn't bother.
It'd be a bit lonely, really, wouldn't
The
it?
only reason that we've kept going is because you've kept showing up, and we love it.
We do. So thank you everyone so much for joining us tonight. It's been great fun. I love reading all the chat. I try not to get too distracted, but I tend to read the chat. It's been lovely to see all the friendships going on in the chat. And we'll see you all next time from an undisclosed location.
Yes,
You'll find out next
we will
week.
be live, but we won't be in this room. And by the way, don't forget, folks, tomorrow night, if you like live shows, then be sure to catch up with Docking Bay 51 for their live show. And hopefully, if we can get there, we'll see you in the chat.
Yes.
Well, shall we go?
Yes. Well, we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.